This is the story of my backpacking trip through South America. I start in Ecuador, where I will learn Spanish and see other parts of the country. I continue traveling through the Colombian landscapes, from the desert to a 4-day hike in the jungle to the lost city. From there, I fly to Bolivia and meet my friend Aranda. Together we travel to great heights and the freezing cold. In Argentina, I only visit the northern part and check out the area of Salta and Buenos Aires. I cross the border to Brazil to see the Iguazu Falls and end the trip in Rio de Janeiro. After a delicious treat in La Paz, I am ready to take the bus to Argentina. It is finally time for country number 4 on this trip. It's quite a journey to get there, 2 overnight buses to get from La Paz to Salta. The first leg is a 17-hour ride down to Tarija, which is still inside Bolivia. The views during the bus ride were a treat. Tarija itself didn't blow me away, even though it's supposed to be Bolivia's wine region. I didn't see much of that. Before arriving, I looked up a restaurant for good coffee and food. And after a few hours, it was time to get back to the station to catch the second overnight bus. This time, it's an 11-hour ride, with a border crossing in the middle. Just before midnight, we reached the border, and it turns out we're pretty much the only bus crossing, which makes things move nice and quick. Around 6 in the morning, we arrive in Salta, and unlike other bus stations that are buzzing with people, this one is completely dead. With a lot of patience, I managed to find a taxi to the hostel. And after catching up with sleep, I go out to have dinner and book 2 trips for the following days. So the next morning I am picked up at 6:30 at the hostel. I received a text that the English tour was full, so I had to join the Spanish one. And although I practiced a lot, being in a new country feels like learning a new language. Especially in Argentina, they have a very different kind of pronunciation. For instance, calle is calle. So to be honest, I didn't understand a lot of what the guide was telling us, but the surroundings were so beautiful, so I just enjoyed that. The first stop was at Marca, where there was a beautiful viewpoint from the roof at one of the restaurants. With just a 40-minute stop, we had enough time to drink a cup of coffee and see the hills of 7 colors. From there, we continue further up north. Our next stop was at Tilcara, where we visited the workplace of an artist and his shop. After that, we continued our journey to the Tropic of Capricorn. Our most northern stop was at the Humahuaca Gorge. We first stopped for lunch and then had some free time to walk around. But from the bus, the gorge was better visible. The whole bus ride felt like a treat. Nature here is so beautiful. The next day, I had a tour planned south of Salta, and this ride was even more stunning. Again, I was the only person who spoke English on the tour. Luckily, this time the guide was able to speak English as well. So she had me sit in the front seat, so she could translate most of it. We made many stops on the way to take pictures of these beautiful surroundings. The region reminded me a bit of Zion National Park, with the beautiful big red rocks and the green vegetation. Since the trip was over 7 hours, the guide told us a lot about the region, its history and its people, the colors of Salta, the story behind the poncho and the local music. In this rock formation, if you stand at the right angle, you could see the Titanic. Our next stop was the wine tasting. Cafayate is one of the wine regions in Argentina, not as well known as Mendoza, but I didn't plan to go that far south. After that, we drove back to Salta, but we weren't done with our stops to take pictures of the surroundings. This was the last stop, the Devil's Throat, which had a great acoustic sound. You will find many people playing music there, just enjoying the sounds. Then it was just a few hours before reaching Salta again, and after 2 full days of traveling, it was time to have a good night's sleep. The next day, I would just walk around Salta, because from what I saw earlier, it should be very pretty as well. I start the day with walking around the square and visit a few churches. This day I just take it easy and see what the city has to offer. On the next episode, I visit Buenos Aires, a city that has a little bit of a European feeling.